Hi everyone, this is the KPNG APAC meeting, the working group meeting under SIG network. This is 8th June 2022, and this meeting falls under the CNCF Code of Conduct, so please be nice to each other. Okay, so on the agenda, so we have this PR to discuss from Yash. So do you want to get started, Yash?
Yes. So this is the just a minute. Yeah. So this PR is basically creating a document how to build a gRPC, and uh, for that like I've created a document and also a script that will generate a gRPC. But in the PR, Jay has also mentioned like we need to verify and also add the CI jobs, which I'm not aware like how to approach on this. And also Mikhail has like mentioned the the command which can basically use to generate the proto, which I ran and it is giving me this error. So I'm not sure whether it is a correct way, or maybe you can help us in this.
Okay, so I'm at least not well versed with this gRPC stuff, but what I've seen is there is this mod config, which also has some um, gRPC stuff. I think so. This will run it for all .proto files, and there is a make target for it. So there is a make target to run this, but we are not running it in CI. So maybe a good start would be to understand what is the difference between this and what you're trying to add in the PR, and then see if we can get that in CI as well. And if see that this is just my 2 cents, that's all I have to offer. But if anyone else has any thoughts, please go ahead.
So I have like tried like doing this before, but I've used like directly commands. So in this mod.conf is new to me, so I'm checking it out. We could like try a bunch of things like right now if we have time on this call. What do you think? And because I've done it like long back, and like I'll have to like dig through like what actual commands I had run. Okay, so if I understand correctly, this PR is for adding this to the CI.
Like first we need, like if you go back to the main PR which Jay has opened, I linked it.
Okay, so you're writing like a doc on how to generate
and
this.
We also mentioned this command proto I something. So I followed the similar line. So if you go to the file changes, I have just mentioned the doc, which is basically how to download and install. And the second one is to just a script that will basically generate the gRPC steps.
The script is like doing these manual steps, automating these manual steps, is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And the next step is to add it in CI, like as a future PR. Is that our ultimate goal?
Yeah, CI, I'm not aware that I'm looking for answers.
I think we want to add it in CI as well. It's at least
yeah, he asked.
Eventually, we want to add it in CI.
So the command that you've mentioned in the doc, like proto-c dash dash go out, like have you tried this out? Like does this work?
Yes, yes. In the docs, we tried that.
Okay, and you're saying the one that Mikhail said in the comment that is not working.
Yes.
And Rajesh, do you know how that what is that mod.conf is used?
So I think this is basically used to run or execute commands and things like that. So I think we should be able to run this command as well and then just check if that works.
So
So
this is the command I think that Mikhail suggested, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're up for it, I can maybe share my screen and we can try to
Mhm.
hack on it and see if that works.
Yeah, I think we should just go ahead and do that.
So basically this should work, right? That's what you're saying. And this is this the error you're getting? Okay, so this
Yeah.
is
Yeah. The
for the
same.
input file.
I think that related path, source related path, I think we need to assign something. I'm not very sure of this command.
Uh, so I can give this and check. Is what you're saying basically.
I mean, it is something with the usage of this command. The parameters which we are passing is not.
So source relative colon dot.
Are we in the right direction?
Mhm.
Input file. We need to provide the input file after this. Yes, after this proto. It is nothing.
Okay, got it.
I think
So this is
the
output. Oh, okay.
yeah input is separate. I mean, it is not linked with output of source.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I mean, the input file which is asking is this path only, but I think it is not linked with the gRPC output or G out. Sorry, go out. Source related colon dot and then space.
You mean this?
Yes.
You mean something like this?
Yeah. I think the dot is missing after related. Yes. Now I think it will try. Yes. Where it basically generated that source. If you do ls, I think in the locally we can. What is the file name?
So this is what it generated, right?
Yes, service here basically. If you do ls, like this, date and time. Last two file.
Okay.
The find command I think is not working.
what did they say over here? So
The
this should
last
work
part.
basically. I mean, I should be able to do a find name asterisk dot proto.
Okay. It should be under quotes, single quote, that proto.
I think the current directory thing is missing over here. That's
Dot.
all.
I
think it should
think
be fine.
I'll
So
check it.
you have two options over here, either to update this with dot proto, or I mean with the file command, or try to use the mod stuff, the mod conf.
Just run one more time, just at the start, the whole command. Just give that dot current directory.
I didn't get you.
I mean, run that command again, which Mikhail
Okay,
has
got it.
pasted. Okay, dot is yes.
So I think this is it.
You can comment it here, I think.
Yep. Also, maybe this should work. Okay, so there is something
I think
wrong with
that
that command as
make
well.
target also should be same thing, no? Dot is missing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also
Do
try
we
to
want to also update that in this PR only?
yeah, you can do that. Right. Okay, so the missing part is in the is over here.
And I think in our doc, we should give the make target reference only because it's like much cleaner and easier.
So one more question I have is like, do we need these scripts if we have the make target? I'll just add
Yes,
it
sir.
over here.
Same question.
I don't think we need to have if the make target works. So the make target is also installing these things, right? Is it doing those things?
The make target, okay, the make target doesn't install anything. Yeah, that's a good point. It just runs
So we
mod
should
B.
have a dependent target that will first install. I think until that is done, probably good to have the script.
Yep.
Like we could have like another good first issue that says have some dependent targets.
But still, you can ask this question.
Yeah.
Just one installation part is missing, right? The command.
So I think me also has some more context on this. I'll just add it. Cool.
Next thing I have like what is the verify and CI jobs takes place? Like how we are verifying? Is it the file already been created, or I need to, like he mentioned, like compare the diff of verify and the generate gRPC as such.
I
If you go
get you.
to if you go to JPR, like which we raised, so there he mentioned 2 points, right? Make a verify grpc.sh and add a CI job that run the diff of these 2 files.
So from what I understand, the basic stuff is that once you run this proto C command, you will generate a bunch of files, and we already have some of those files, right? So you just have to check if the diff is 0. If the diff is 0, then we are all good. So the CI job will be to check if the diff is 0. Does that make sense?
Where is the verify file present? You mentioned.
You will have to write a verify file, I guess, a verify grpc file. So there is no verify grpc file.
He mentioned to write a script.
Yep.
So it will be the same like generate, right? Like just to run the make mod.
So I think a good question over here is to check to know what to verify this against. So Anusha, do you have context around that, like what we should verify these generated files against? I think anything with proto.go should be fine, right? Or pb.go, sorry.
Yeah, but do we all have like all the proto files like in a single directory, or they're going to be in different ones? So I'm thinking in terms of now service.pb should diff with the generated service.pb, right?
Yeah. So okay, so my hunch at this is there is only one services.pb, the one services.proto file.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go to API local vnet1, uh, this is the pb.go file which exists, and we make changes to uh, this file, right?
Right. And
Uh,
pb.go
s-
and grpc pb.go get generated, right? When we run
so
proto-C.
exactly. So if you run if you run this, or if you run proto-C against this and the files that you generate through this, right?
Hmm.
If they are different, then there has to be
Hmm.
an issue. The job should fail.
Yes.
So if whatever proto-C command you're running with this file
Hmm.
services.proto, try to generate
Hmm.
the new files with a different name.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you
then
could have your output directly to a temp somewhere in your CI and then diff with whatever was checked in, right? Like in your CI, your runner would have checked out your repo. So with that, with what you generate while running, opposed to as what got checked out. Yeah, if we have only services dot propose proto a single file, then a single diff should work. Just a diff here.
yep, ideally this should be done for all .proto files, and it should be done in a way like, you know, you create a different directory for, you know, all the generated files and then compare them with wherever those pb.go files exist. But as a first pass,
Yeah.
maybe we can go with like just services.proto and compare the generated files with these files as Anusha mentioned. So
Yeah, I think
uh,
that sounds good.
does that make sense to you, Yash?
Just one question, like the command which we ran just now, it is making changes in the same directory, right? So it will overwrite, or we have to create a new directory first and then point it to that directory.
You don't want it to overwrite, so you probably want to create a new directory and then point the output to some other directory, or you can, you know, change the output file names to something. So So you can go all crazy with that and like, see how to make it work. But basically the generated files should be checked against the current files. And the idea is that the job should fail, and if the job fails, we should create an issue and make sure that this is updated. A very cool thing maybe that once the job fails, like we create a PR, uh, that a new PR that gets raised with these new generated files. But I don't know, uh, or
Oh, automation,
yeah, like that can be like a good thing. I don't know if
one step at a time.
yeah, we can go with this thing first. The second thing is maybe we should add it in the documentation that whenever you change services.protofile, make sure that you run this command so that these new files are generated in your PR itself.
Yes, I mean, yeah, that definitely we should add to, like
But in future, the CI will take
nice.
care of it, right?
The CI will only fail if the diff is not 0.
So
No,
it
if
is the
somebody make,
developer's job to check in that generated files also. In case they forget, the CI is just as a reminder saying, hey, you missed this.
Yeah, does that make sense?
yes, no. And just one last question: where is the CI script is present?
Oh, we have as of now we have GitHub Actions. So if you go to the .github, I'm probably not sharing my screen. If you go to .github workflows, we have all these things running over here. You can create another file over here and see. I think it can be like a simple GitHub action similar to the ones that we already have. And so things like, install dependencies can have all of your code from that,
I
check out,
can
and then you
work
can just
around
run
this.
something. Yeah. Uh,
Thank you.
one good thing is if you once you fork this repo, right, and if in your fork you can enable GitHub Actions and try it out in your fork, and once the job passes in your fork, you can raise the PR, or basically makes uh, like you can try things out here in this fork of yours. You should see a settings tab and be able to basically enable GitHub Actions on this repo, and then try out the CI. So that'll work.
Okay, so I'll explore around. And I have created one more PR for unit testing of IP tables. So if you just have a look around on this.
Oh, awesome. I'll probably nudge Vivek to take a look at this.
I have
Yeah,
assigned
Vivek and
them.
Hanumant. Yep.
Oh, wow, unit test of IP tables.
Anusha was also working on this.
I just copied most of the things from the existing one, which you.
Anusha, this is all yours if you want to review it, assign it to yourself, like whatever.
Yeah, I will like review this, but I think Vivek is like the rightful reviewer. But yeah, I'll take a look at this.
Cool. All right. Apart from this, there's this hackmd running on what are the next steps for the KEP, and what all things we have planned. So just wanted to highlight that as well.
So for how long it will behave as a working group?
Sorry.
It's under WG, right? The working group, or what we call it as.
Yeah. So the idea is we already have this cap, right?
Mhm.
I don't have the link handy now, but the idea is to like revamp the cap and make it make it compliant with the new format, and add a bunch of things on how it can replace Kube-Proxy and things like that. And then once the cap gets merged, then we'll actually have to work on replacing Kube-Proxy with cupping. What is the policy around it, how to go about it, which release this will get it in, and all of those things. And once cupping becomes the new Kube-Proxy, I think that's when we'll still continue with this, but it won't be a working group as such. That's my understanding about it. But yeah, if you want to know like the exact details and things like that, you probably should follow up on Slack, like maybe ask a question, and Jay or Mikhail can help you with that.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, so this pretty much what I had. I've been trying to work on the cap, but I didn't get to spend much time this week, but I'm planning to spend some more time on it like later this week. Um, yeah, so if y'all have any other things to discuss, please bring them up.
So I started looking at the cap. Like there are obviously a bunch of things that I don't understand, but I think there are a little bit of obvious ones that we can start with to tidy the cap. Like we can pair with you, Rajesh, if you want to get started on that.
Awesome. So I think the very first step I'm looking at is like using this hack MD itself, and you know making sure we get started with all of these like new format and things like that, and then work our way through. There's one of the caps which we can take as an example, I guess. Yeah, I think we can take this as an example and then go ahead. So yeah, we can definitely pair on it.
Cool. Sounds good.
Do we have anything else, or if we don't, then we're good? Cool. All right. Thanks for joining, folks, and see you all around.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.